Nova Online is the internet's biggest lolcow, and recently the Discord that he used to flirt with minors had been taken down, which he wasn't very happy about.
This is the mother fourth.
So today I thought we'd do a big retrospective on this lad from the start of his career, if you want to call it that, to today. And hopefully we can find out exactly where it all went tits up. But before that, I know I usually show some comments at the start of all my videos because I feel like it's what the YouTubers of old did, and I kind of miss that vibe of old YouTube. I don't know why people don't do it anymore, but unfortunately, today, I can't do that because these comments in particular are so perplexing and hate-filled that it'll take a little while. So I'll save them for the end of this video. Stay tuned, folks. So instead, to fill that void, here is my Instagram, which you should all go totally follow, because if you do, you can look at wonderful photos like this one of me at Tyler. Although, with Nova Online, the subject of today's video's incredible rendition of his music, I'm not even sure why I bothered even going to the concert. Now, but on a real, I actually met a lot of yous at that live show, which is wonderful. I love knowing that me and Tyler have overlapping audiences. And also, what was great was that a lot of you came with your partners. One of you even came with your kid, which was amazing because I could finally stick up to my pal who was convinced that all of my fans were virgins. So take that, Joseph. How does it feel to be wrong? When the whole 100 men vs 1 gorilla debate was going on, in my mind, all I could think was, the average Dankyjabo viewer could take a gorilla, no problems, just like that, man. Anyways, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the video. So Nova Online is classified, particularly nowadays, as a lolcow, which for those who don't know, a lolcow is someone whose entire career is essentially predicated upon people making fun of them. People like Amberlynn Reed are, you know, very popular lolcows, for example. And Nova Online currently just happens to be the most famous of all of them. Which isn't exactly a flex, it's like being the healthiest item at McDonald's, you know? I mean, it doesn't really mean much, if that makes sense. But his fame on TikTok began, as it does for so many, with food review TikToks. So let's have a look at some of them.
Bowling alley food sucks.
We're off to a great start. I wholeheartedly agree that bowling alley food does indeed suck. So let's see where he goes with this, because he's got me intrigued from the get-go.
Today, we're starting a new series called Bowling Alley Eats, where today we try foods from the bowling alley and compare it to a different version, not from a bowling alley, but from a local restaurant or chain.
Wait, so this guy's getting takeout food from a bowling alley? He's getting food from the bowling alley and taking it, or is he like getting Deliveroo from the bowling alley? You don't have Deliveroo over that. Just Eat, or like Uber eating from the bowling alley to his gaff? I don't think that's even allowed over here. I think they disbarred that after World War II for humanitarian purposes, because that is a crime. That's criminal, man. Takeout food from the bowling alley. That doesn't sound right on any level.
A teriyaki burger from my local bowling alley.
Yeah, that looks like, what is that? Is that malaria on top? It looks like it, to be fair, and it wouldn't shock me.
A hamburger from a over 100-year-old restaurant in my town called Hudson. Let's analyze it. It looks like Hudson's is using a average bun and onion. However, the bowling alley burger has a lot more going for it. It looks like it uses a higher quality bun and has a lot more toppings. It's got teriyaki sauce, pineapple, ham, lettuce, tomato, onion, burger patty, and Swiss cheese.
This is not a fair comparison. I feel as though this video is slightly biased. How can you compare a hamburger with like an onion to a teriyaki burger with all these fucking Hawaiian toppings on top of it? It's got fucking pineapple on it, for God's sake. Like, how is that comparable to the hamburger in any way, shape, or form? They probably cost like $10 more. I don't know why I'm getting so heated over this. I hate when in sporting events there's an unfair advantage given to somebody because of bias or someone overlooking something or anything along those lines. And this, to me, is a mismatch. And that makes me angry. To be honest with you, I feel as though maybe he's not allowed to actually take bowling alley food from the bowling alley, but because it's him, they've allowed him specifically, because he's probably a regular at that bowling alley. Like, I don't mean this disrespectfully, although it may be taken disrespectfully depending on your, I guess, pre-notion of what a bowling champion looks like, but this guy right here looks like a bowling champion. If you were to picture, like, the default skin of the average bowling champion, Nova Online is what would pop into most people's minds. Someone with this sort of disposition. I don't know, he just looks like he'd be sick at bowling, to be fair, and once again, I'm not sure if that's a compliment in today's day and age. I'm always skeptical of people who are really good at bowling. I feel like they're bad partners a lot of the time, because it's like, Ooh, how many failed dates / relationships have you been on to be this good at bowling? Suspicious, isn't it? But then on that same sort of vein, bowling is a great way to get to know somebody on a first date because you learn so much about them. It's like, how seriously are they gonna take it? If they're good at it, are they gonna like rub it in your face? Can they take losing very well? Are they just gonna treat it like a joke and not take it very seriously? And if they do, is it because they're bad at it and because they're embarrassed at how bad they are? Or because they're really good at it but don't want to unsheathe their sword, if that makes sense? Will they change how good they are depending on how good you are? That it just, you know, there's so many variables that can be taken into consideration, and I genuinely believe that bowling is like an elite first date idea. Purely because you do learn so much about the other person, but alas, that is besides the point. Let's do a little analysis here of the room before we move on. This sort of mat on the wall is always a red flag to me whenever I visit someone and they've got like a, what's it called, a rug? No, a rug is attached to the floor, a carpet. On the wall, no, the carpet's the one that's attached to a rug, you know, it is a rug. A rug that's attached to the wall, it's always a red flag, for me at least. Also got a keep calm and carry on sign on the Union Jack down there in the bottom corner. We're not a fan of that flag up here in Scotland, but it's certainly interesting decor. Maybe Nova Online just loves the UK. I can tell you what he doesn't love though, stable shelves, because that shelf, that is looking fragile. Could definitely do with a little bit of stability, because if it falls down, Batman's gonna fucking die. Like, what's he gonna do? So what I've got so far, Nova Online likes burgers, he likes the UK, and he hates Batman.
I'm gonna go 100-year-old chain. But if I did get the Brooklyn burger from the bowling alley, this one probably would have won. It would taste a whole lot better.
Anyways, as I'm sure you'll all agree, this is absolutely life-changing content. But another bit of food-related content that he was very viral for, like this one's incredibly famous, is the French onion soup clip, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, will sound very strange, but the majority of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's give that a watch.
My employees to have a livable wages.
Can I get a French onion soup, please?
Under Idaho's current minimum wage.
So if you see any comments later on in this video in like the comment section or in videos that we look at surrounding him that mention French onion soup, then there you go. You're filled in. Because alongside being very tasty, that one clip for some reason is instrumental to the Nova Online lore. I don't understand why he's asking, practically begging for French onion soup whilst he's pouring said French onion soup though. Like that doesn't make a lot of sense. Although to be fair, it was probably the reporter who told him to say it for effect or just to make it clear to the audience. He looks dead excited about it though, bless him. And he's got a job. Things are looking up so far, man. Alright, let's look at one more food video and then we'll move on.
Might be my last time ever doing this. Welcome back to Shot NATO. One of the series that I used to do on TikTok.
He's got fucking swagger. Like, alright, let's be real here. This guy is swag. I couldn't do that. Definitely not on the first take. I'd like to imagine this is the first take. It definitely wasn't, but I'd like to imagine that it was a first take. And he just managed to flip the cans over and do whatever he wanted with his plane of the universe, however he pleased, whenever he pleases. And I genuinely envy that. Like, in order to have that much fun in front of this many people, knowing you're gonna be taking the piss out of, I kind of think that's admirable.
I started filming this just after I got fired from my job at the French onion soup place.
He got fired from the French... I didn't know about that. That's fucking heartbreaking. That's like if Elmo got fired from Quality Street. That's what it's called. No, Sesame. That's like if Elmo... fucking Quality... Quality Street is a brand of sweets that we have in the UK. It's just a big box of like chocolates and toffees and that. Sesame Street sounds a lot less delicious, actually, thinking about it. Or a lot less sweet, at the very least. Now, Sesame's nice every now and then, but I definitely prefer a bag of Quality Streets than sesame seeds or something along those lines, you know what I mean? Either way, firing this guy from the French onion soup place is like firing Elmo from Sesame Street. There you go, first take, nailed it.
And a whole can of Mountain Dew started it off. This time, we're doing a can of Warhead soda. This shit is literally death in a can.
It's quite emotional, this video. Like, if you put some sad music over this, a black and white filter, it'll be, like, really, like, actually sad. He's reminiscing. Like, you can tell this means a lot to him. It's choking me up inside a little bit just thinking about it. And on a real, if, like, the shit we learn about later wasn't a factor here, and he was just, like, this sort of, I guess, character in real life, and he didn't, you know, talk to minors or anything that happens later, I think I would actually quite like this lad. He's clearly very nerdy. I don't know if I should say this, but it's true. He's definitely neurodivergent. And hey, that takes one to know one. Not throwing any shade, it's just very obvious. But he's probably like a little shy in real life. He's probably part of that group in school where that sort of harbors a bunch of this similar sort of person, and they're all very close with each other, but they don't sort of split from that friend group because they wouldn't really fit in the other friend groups, if that makes sense. But then on the internet, he's not as shy, right? He has like this striking, it is a striking personality, and it is quite endearing. Like, just this, all the food videos and stuff, put aside everything we learn later, there is something almost cute about this, if that makes sense. But I don't know if that's like me being too patronizing. I just think I've known a lot of people like this in my life who are good-hearted. Obviously Nova isn't good-hearted, but I've known people who sort of have this vibe that do genuinely have good hearts. I'll put it this way, if you replace this kid, everything we've seen so far, you replace this kid with somebody who's conventionally attractive, no one bats an eye. No one makes fun of him, he doesn't become a lolcow, and nobody takes the piss. That's the facts. That's the facts. And that can be said for so many individuals, by the way, on TikTok, on the internet. If you took them and replaced them with I don't know, a Hugh Jackman, for example, nobody would be taking the piss. People like that World of T-shirts lad that a lot of people ask me to make videos on, it's like, with all due respect, I think the people bullying World of T-shirts are all ableist arseholes. Because it's very obvious that he's got, you know, his own problems to deal with, and he's mentally unwell, at the very least. And he's just being taken advantage of and bullied to death mercilessly by the entirety of the internet. It's fucking disgusting the way that people are treated online, especially when they're very obviously people who shouldn't have access to the internet and happen to have found virality, unfortunately, because TikTok, in spite of being a place where you're meant to like look at videos, or it's meant to feed you videos via the algorithm that you like and that cater to you, instead it just shows you videos of stuff that it knows you will hate to elicit a reaction out of you. Or more realistically, videos that make you cringe, because the algorithm knows what makes you cringe. I know I keep drawing examples here, but a bit like that fucking bloke who went viral for that, like, living the American dream sort of thing that went down recently. It's like, no one actually likes that, or people do, there's definitely an audience for it. But the majority of people who've seen and commented on that TikTok, it's like, they've been fed that video because the algorithm knows it will elicit a reaction out of you, good or bad. So yeah, sorry for all the people who want me to make videos on World of T-shirts or anybody like that, but it's not gonna happen. The reason I'm making a video on Nova, however, is because he isn't just an innocent wee boy who gets needlessly made fun of. As we cover later, he is someone who has done very bad things and messaged minors and flirted with very young people on his Discord, and that is a problem. But I do think it's a point worth mentioning, because as much as this guy is a lolcow and it's sort of the trend to send him abuse, basically, I still want to remain relatively fair and impartial like I usually do. Now, with that being said, I think that's a good place to transition into the section of the video where we do talk about his alleged communication with minors. We'll have a look at all the evidence and hopefully, very quickly, come to a conclusion about what actually has gone down here. So this here is some of the most, I guess, convincing evidence, because it is just him straight up admitting that he was talking sexually to 14-year-olds. And he uses the excuse of, no, they started it, they were being sexual towards me, even though, obviously, you don't need me to tell you this, 14-year-olds cannot consent. There's no state in America where I believe he lives, maybe fucking Canada or so, whatever. Nowhere in the US or Canada or anywhere that this bloke could possibly be from is 14 an appropriate age of consent, both morally or legally. And Nova was 18 years old at the time of these messages, by the way. Yeah, he said that he wanted to sleep with a 14-year-old and asked how often she masturbates. It's not good. It's like, it's obvious from even 3 years ago when these screenshots happened that he should not be on the internet, and he probably needs some therapy as well. But yeah, the biggest point here is that Nova Online should not have a platform where he is able to do these things or say these things to people of that age. Once you do that, you sort of eliminate your right to have a big audience on TikTok, in my opinion.
To whoever the F sent that video to my uncle, you should be ashamed of yourself. I literally just got through a mental breakdown, bawling my eyes out because of you. I hate to post this, but this needs to be addressed. To whoever sent that, F you!
So I don't know exactly what's happened here, but I consider myself rather astute, so I can make an educated guess. I'm gonna assume that somebody sent a video to Nova Online's uncle, and they're not very happy about it. Now, the caption here says Nova crashed out after someone sent a video of him talking to minors to his uncle. I don't know if that's what the actual video was, and to be frank, neither does whoever made that caption. Just because it's on a TikTok caption, that doesn't make it true, so I don't know what the video was. It is very likely that it could have been a video of Nova talking to minors because of this reaction being so strong and so, I guess, offended that somebody would do such a thing. But how the fuck is Nova Online's uncle's contact details on the internet anyways for people to just freely message? Like, that's a little weird. But yeah, just to reiterate, we don't know for a fact if it was a video of Nova talking to minors. Like, did the fucking uncle come out with a formal statement? What are we doing here? It could have just been one of the hundreds of very embarrassing videos of Nova participating in the kinks that we will talk about later on in this video. Albeit, a lot of those videos are, you know, involving minors, but a lot of them aren't. Who knows, man? Either way, this is fucking bad. On both ends, to be fair. My skepticism doesn't even matter that much, because the videos do exist. Nova is talking to minors badly. Whether or not his uncle's seen one of those videos is sort of irrelevant, but yeah, this is just a little piece of the story to show you guys that Nova is very prone to crashing out, and people love to make him crash out. I don't know what he was expecting by posting this video begging his audience not to do something, but if his expectation was anything but people doing it 100 times more, then he clearly hasn't learned anything from his time on the internet. This is Nova venting about his mental health and how he couldn't get help with his therapist on a video that looks like it has a maximum of 100 views. And then the kid who made the video wants to talk about it in DMs with them. This kid is 16, as can be shown by this screenshot here. Who knows whether or not they actually interacted, but either way, this is just more proof that Nova Online is very mentally unwell and does not know how to use the internet appropriately. Once again, more evidence pointing towards my notion, or I guess supporting my notion, that Nova should not be somebody who has free internet access. Obviously, we know Nova from that last video has an uncle in their life. I'm not sure where their parents are, but if their parents are, you know, a normal, healthy, suburban family, if that makes sense, then they definitely should have limited their son's access to the internet after a certain point. Because the signs would have been there from young that, you know, he shouldn't be on the internet to this extent. I'd hate for this to be a Chris Chan thing where he's just completely, as much as Chris Chan is a fucking undoubtable, unhinged, weird freak, he's also somebody who was failed by the people around him from birth. Like, his parents never should have allowed him access to the internet to the extent that they did.
When are you gonna realize when you can take these nuts and shove them up your ass? Goodbye. I'm not a chomo. I've already beaten the allegations. People still push them. And I'll pass that on. Oh, there's been a slew of horrible allegations put against me, saying that I was a EDP. I was fucking framed for those back in 2022, and since then I have beaten all the allegations. Like, literally, those came out right when I turned 18. Suspicious enough, huh?
So yeah, they were 18 in 2022, and they are now, well, 2025, so they're either 20 or 21. I don't know when their birthday is, I've not gone that deep. They're old enough to know better, basically. He mentions there about beating the allegations, quote-unquote. Yeah, spoilers, they didn't beat the allegations, ever. Like, he's still very much a proven weirdo Discord mod who flirted with underage people. Someone's also given a testimony of their experience with Nova, with proof of everything, and this was covered in a Sensitive Society video, so we'll give that a watch.
Half a year ago, I joined Nova's livestream on Twitch. I mentioned that I hadn't played the new season yet. I don't know if it's Fortnite, Apex. And he asked if I would like to join him. He also asked for my Discord. He added me on Discord and we started playing. About 2 games later, he ended the stream and it was just us playing. Pulling the Ultima Sigma Alpha male move right here. He tells me all the time that I make him feel ageless because I have a mommy attitude. Last night while I was on the call with him, he said, and I quote, "I'm so nervous right now. Can I show you my pacifier?" End quote.
What the fuck is a pacifier? Is that like a weird slang term for dick? Oh, it's a dummy. That's not a fucking Why do you is that what you call it in America? A pacifier? It's a dummy. There's no other word for it. Fuck off, pacifier. Pacifier is like such a mature name for a dummy. If someone asked me, can I show you my pacifier, I would think they're saying, can I show you my dick? You should never be able to conflate a dummy with a dick, ever. For more reasons than one. There are an unimaginable amount of reasons why you should never be able to conflate those two things. Pacifier. I can't get over that. It's just such a weird word for the apparatus. I don't mean to be like a sort of I don't know, is this culturally insensitive to say that's a fucking weird, American word. If you're watching this and you're American and you use that word, can we change that, please? Like, can you not use that anymore? Can we change it to dummy? And hopefully, if you do that enough, you can get your pal to do it as well, and then their pal, and then their mum, and then their cousin, and hopefully by the end of the decade, we can get everybody in America to stop using that stupid word and just say dummy. Like a normal person. Pacifier. Fucking hell. Oh, Susan, the baby's crying. Can we hand it the pacifier, please? It just don't roll off the tongue properly. Dummy just sounds so much better.
The other things, when I told him I was only 16, he said it was fine and that I could send it to him. When I told him I didn't feel comfortable, he continued to blame himself and say he was going to hurt himself. He showed me his stuffed animal and his pacifier while saying, and I quote, "Am I cute?" in a baby voice. What am I reading? I want to laugh so much, but my throat.
Alright, sensitive society. Can we just get to the point, please? I'm sure you're dying of laughter right now. I can hear it in your voice. Because I know me, when I'm dying of laughter, I don't laugh, but I say, oh, guys, I am wanting to laugh so badly right now, but I can't because my throat is sore.
When I try to remind him that I'm only 16, he dodged my question. I have repeatedly told him that I am underage and that I don't feel comfortable with the things he's doing, but he continues to ignore my concerns. And let's just get into the first video they send.
Right, so there are videos that prove he's a fucking weird freak. Obviously, there aren't videos of the entire interaction, so we don't know if everything that they're saying is true. It is something that is consistent with Nova Online's behavior online. And the reason I sort of took the piss out of the YouTuber there is because I am someone who doesn't really find shit like this funny. And that's not me like sat here like, you're not allowed to laugh at this is horrible for you. I'm not being like a dick or a police officer. I'm just saying that personally, I don't find this to be very funny. He's just so clearly got so many issues, and who knows what's going on in his life, and he's definitely like extremely neurodivergent to a point where it's probably clouding his moral judgments more so than the average person. And that's not saying that he doesn't know right from wrong. He definitely does, and he definitely should not be acting in the way that he is, and the way that he is acting online is without a doubt harmful, and you shouldn't be online. Like, those are all true, but I don't find it funny, and I probably don't find it funny largely because of what I've just said.
Oh, that is definitely him. I recognize that greasy hair from anywhere. And here's the other video they sent me. Very interesting. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is. I feel uncomfortable watching this. I could smell this video from my room. He also asked me if I could recreate some of his favorite ASMR audio. Then he sent me a screenshot of his playlist of the stuff he likes. ASMR covering you with kisses. ASMR ear kissing. ASMR hugs and kisses. Yo, can anyone send me the link to these videos? For scientific purposes only, okay?
I really just don't find it funny at all. It just makes me sad. Like, it actually genuinely makes me sad watching stuff like this happen. As much as he's very obviously doing something that is, like, morally, objectively wrong, and I feel bad for him, I also feel bad for the fucking victim. Like, we'll call it what it is. They're a victim of Nova Online. Like, when you're a 14-year-old kid, you shouldn't be being treated like this online. You know, for someone to, you know, message you like this strangely as a 14-year-old child is very uncomfortable. So I feel bad for both parties here. Obviously the victim more so, but Nova as well, just because there's clearly so many things going on there.
It's kind of disturbing. They also showed some DMs between them and Nova says, "You should probably get some sleep and have work tomorrow, but don't you think it's weird for a grown person to be calling someone like this after a certain time?" So they're talking like at 2:34 a.m. "I normally call someone when I want to grab their attention. I didn't expect a callback. Do you think what we're doing here is wrong? I'm about to go to bed. What do you keep dodging my question? I just don't know what you're referring to. Do you think it's okay for us to be talking even though I'm underage?" That's when the conversation ends. Some freaky ass behavior from Nova Online. But is anyone surprised that the person that looks like this is acting like this?
It's just a horrible thing to say. Like, look, everything I've said about this fucking YouTuber is whatever. Like, it's fine. We just have a difference of opinion. But that last bit there about, ooh, is it really any shock that someone who looks like this would act this way? I think that is genuinely just very mean-hearted. There's plenty of people who can't or don't take care of themselves for various amounts of reasons that people like us will just never understand from our privileged position. And to look at people who look a certain way or might not have washed their hair as often as you do and judge them so harshly and so disgustingly off the bat, I genuinely believe it really does grind my gears. It fucking annoys me. It annoys me. Because I wouldn't want people treating people who I know like that. You know what I mean? Because even me at some point, I was I was a weird kid. I didn't really wash my hair enough, particularly because we couldn't afford hair wash. It was a sort of thing where the bottle would get to the bottom and then we just fill it up with water because we couldn't afford to buy more, sort of thing. And obviously with that, I was a scrawny old fuck, and I was very, very neurodivergent as well, like, extremely. I wasn't exactly the type of kid that people wanted to be friends with, if that makes sense. And if people were judging me like this, if I took a couple wrong turns in life, or didn't get as lucky as I did, or know as many good people as I do, I very, very possibly could have ended up in a very awful position where I look a lot worse than I do. I'm still a little dirty. I don't know how to phrase it exactly, but I could have very easily been in a situation where I'm nowhere near as fortunate as I am now. And I wouldn't even want people treating me like that just by looking at me. I feel like we're getting off topic here. We'll move on to a different video. So this one's from a Turkey Tom video, which, say what you want about him, but his videos are usually rather well researched.
Like a diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, will the how I wonder what
Out of context, this looks like just kind of a funny video of Nova being, well, himself. The problem here is that Nova thought he was singing this to a 14-year-old girl, and that isn't the only instance.
Question, but how often do you masturbate?
These videos were released on TikTok and began getting a lot of traction, with a variety of accusations being thrown at Nova. At some point, he was then approached on Discord to explain his behavior with the 14-year-old girl.
So yeah, we've seen those DMs already, but those are the sort of videos that accompany them and explain what these DMs are actually about. So there you have it. Case in point, the guy's got a lot of fucking issues, but he's very obviously a bad person morally as well, and should not be acting in the manner in which he is. And I can sit here and say that he shouldn't have a platform and that he shouldn't be on the internet as much as I want, but the fact is, he does have a platform. He is on the internet, and he is continuing to pursue this career, once again, if you want to call it that, and that is something that needs to be chastised to an extent. Like, he cannot be doing this. He needs to be stopped. And I don't mean he needs to be stopped in a sort of commentary YouTuber clickbait title kind of way. I mean, like, he genuinely needs to be stopped for the well-being of everybody on planet Earth. It would benefit absolutely nobody for him to continue his spiraling downward career. There's also this out on their Discord saying, I need all the evidence I can that proves I'm not a P3 doe. DM me with all the evidence you can, which people have reacted very, I guess, eclectically to that post. You got some frogs, you got some crying, some shocked emojis, a couple of Among Us imposters, I don't know why, some lipstick as well. Very strange, right? It's strange. I mean, you have to be a very specific type of person to actually engage in the Nova Online Discord, to be fair. Like, anyone who actually joins and regularly partakes in the Nova Online Discord is either a child or fucking deranged. Like, if you're on this Discord and you're over the age of 18, fucking sort your life out, pal. I genuinely mean that. And that goes for Nova as well, because he is obviously over the age of 18. But what does he even, like, possibly trying to even get at here? Like, I need evidence that I am not a predator. DM me evidence that I am not. What would evidence that you are not a predator even look like, man? A picture of you DMing somebody saying, oh, I'm not a predator? I don't know. I don't know. It's not something you can disprove necessarily. It's just not something that most people are accused of. Most people. How would anybody on the Discord have evidence that you don't already have of you not being a It just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. Part of me makes me feel as though they're, like, intentionally trying to elicit a reaction because it makes that little sense. Or maybe they are just that daft. That wouldn't shock me either. Anyway, next we unfortunately have to delve into their age play / diaper kink. I had to show you my melatonin patch to show you I put it on like a good baby with some hearts there, very cute. I can't even say that fucking ironically. It's disgusting. Like, it is disgusting. I know there's a lot of people who are like, look, if you're two consenting adults, you can do whatever you want. And also age play / age regression. I'm not sure which one it is off the top of my head, but I know one of them is a genuine reaction to, like, a potential trauma that has happened in your childhood. So it's not always intentional, and it's not always, like, morally bad or weird. But, you know, if we put that all aside, can we all agree that you probably shouldn't be pursuing that kink of yours on the internet in front of millions of people? Can we agree on that, at least? Especially because I'm guessing a majority of those people don't really want to see that shit. Once again, though, if you're somebody who has willingly joined the Nova Online fucking Discord, you almost can't complain when you're met with this. This is like training for a boxing match, walking into a boxing ring, getting jabbed, and going, whoa, what the fuck? Ref, he's hitting me! He's not allowed to do that! You cannot go swimming and not expect to get wet. It just sort of comes hand in hand with the experience. This Reddit comment sums it up pretty well. If he didn't talk to kids and kept himself and his house clean, maybe I wouldn't be so interested in this guy, but he's just so dirty, socially and physically. It's like a car wash I can't... car crash. A car wash would be a good thing. It's like a car crash I can't look away from. And yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. If he wasn't somebody who spoke to kids or was doing anything that was so obviously abhorrent, I would feel a lot more bad for him. The bit about keeping his house clean or whatever, I don't really care as much about, because that is, once again, something that can be chalked down to a lot of the time a genuine sort of depressive episode, or a spell of bad mental health, or, you know, something that can be linked to the issues that he very clearly has. I don't mean that disrespectfully. Even this here, like, if it was just stuff like this, as strange as it is to me, it wouldn't be something that I make a video about, because it's just none of my fucking business necessarily. But when you take stuff like this and then put it alongside them talking to minors, a lot of the time, whilst they talk to those minors, they are dressed like a baby and pursuing this kink with those minors as well. Yeah, it does become a problem, and it does become a lot more, I guess, justifiable to make a video and talk about him in the manner that I am right now. Nova's Binky/pacifier collection. See, Binky, I think, is okay. If pacifier, I hate that I'm using it now. If a dummy was called a Binky in America, I'd be a lot more cool with that. But what's those... No, what's a Binky? Alright, hang on, let me check before I make myself look like a fool. Okay, no, a Binky is a dummy. A Binky is... I like... A Binky's fine. Like, if you give a baby a Binky, that sounds... There's alliteration there as well. You got baby Binky. That's good. I don't mind that as much. Let's not use Binky/pacifier, though. Like, I think it'll be a lot easier for the Americans to use the word Binky than dummy, because obviously that's not a thing over there. So let's stop using pacifier and start using Binky. I can get behind that. I still prefer dummy, but Binky is acceptable. What the fuck is on this guy's bed, by the way? Is it... I can't tell if it's like lint or just like mold or dirt or something that come outside, or if he is sleeping with a goat, maybe. The lighting is also rather ominous. It's probably just his phone flashlight, but yeah, this is a very uncomfortable image. I'll give you that. I quite like the lighting in my videos. I know some people feel a certain way about it. Once I'm moving house in a few weeks, the lighting will probably be a little bit different. I might take inspiration from this photo and like my videos like this from now on. Fuck it, why not? We'll see how it works.
What? The fuck are they sending my mom?
No better, Mom.
Fuck my life.
Ooh, he has a Pixel 6. I recognize that notification sound anywhere. I recently upgraded from my Pixel 6 to an iPhone 16. I know, we Apple boy over here, but to be fair, I only bought it because it's your fault. It's you guys' fault for allowing me to afford such frivolous expenditure. And I'll be honest, I'm loving it. I've switched. I've transferred to the other team completely. I don't know why that excited me so much. Like, let's actually fucking talk about the video here. Some freak actually sent Nova Online diapers. Like, hopefully they weren't fucking used, but they sent diapers to Nova's house. And you could hear in that video there that Nova's mum lives with him, so we know that he at least has a mum in the picture. I'm not sure if he has a dad in the picture, but a mum for sure. And if it is a single mother household, and it is just this one mother trying to sort of, I guess, take care of the whole family, I don't know if the uncle lives with them as well, but either way, it's just tragic. Like, it is just tragic. As much as I have been saying that Nova's parents absolutely should have done everything in their power to keep him off of the internet, at least to the extent that he is on the internet currently, I still have to feel sorry for the mother. But imagine having Nova Online as a son. It's gonna be fucking... It's hard work, man. Like, this is not a situation that I or anybody would be envious of. And maybe she has tried everything that she can, and, like, it would have been way worse if she wasn't in the picture and wasn't doing what she was doing. But then there's also the possibility that she is just completely negligent and doesn't really give a fuck. Like, I just don't know. None of us really know. And without those, in my opinion, crucial pieces of information, it's very difficult to pass judgment on somebody like Nova's mum. But that's only something I bring up because someone like Nova's mum is obviously very instrumental to the making of Nova Online and, you know, how popular they are on the internet. If they put their foot down at some point and were able to keep him off of the internet, then this never would have happened, and it would have been better for both everyone Nova talks to and Nova himself, probably, as well as his immediate family and everyone who lives in that house. Even the fucking dog would probably be better off. I really want a messy diaper today I woke up wet in the middle of the night. Good job, baby. Great job. Okay, so the people on the Discord are like egging him on? This Discord is what? Is it just like a big roleplay server where everyone has these kinks and trying to like fucking just egg each other on, I guess? Or are they just playing it up for Nova Online specifically because pissing him off and, I guess, rage baiting him is just too enthralling a possibility to pass up on? Oh god, fucking hell, I don't want to blur that, Naz. I do not want my audience to see that. I skipped past it as soon as I seen it. That was fucking horrific, and now I will never be able to live the same life that I was previously living. Alright, I'm gonna go back to that image, not because I enjoyed it or whatever you sick fucks are accusing me of currently. I'm going back purely to give my editor more of a chance to, I guess, put it on screen purely for the just to blur it, not to actually put it on screen. Naz, if you forget to blur that, I swear to God, I'm fucking firing you, by the way. I'm not even gonna look. There you go. It's up. You're welcome, Naz. I hope you're having a great time right now editing this video. Be sure, blur it, please. I'm begging you, blur it. And now I'm gonna try and exit the page without looking at the screen. Fuck, I've closed another tab. I seen in my peripheral vision that I closed a crucial tab. There you go. Well, I've opened a tab, but I didn't close. Now I can close it freely. There's also this very intriguing interaction on the Discord. Hi everyone, and then Nova Online pops up with, is it weird that I find myself more comfy in diapers? To which the initial conversation starter responds, no. A truly enthralling interaction that we have just witnessed here. Like, honestly, it's incredible that we get this shit for free. Shakespearean, in fact. Like, I cannot believe the levels of... This is like a dating sim, but like one that was written by James Joyce. When someone says hello, your initial response should be, oh, hello mate, how you doing? Or, how was your day, pal? Not, is it weird that I find myself comfy in diapers? Like, he's just said hello, mate. Fucking, how have you gone there already? That's like 10 sentences away, at least. Maybe he just wants to skip all the riff-raff and wishy-washy. He's, you know, straight up, and I can't even say that's admirable. I can't even fucking compliment him jokingly anymore because it's just that strange. I'll put it this way, it's a high-level maneuver, an interesting tactic, perhaps one that I just cannot understand with my mere mortal of a mind. Apparently there's a Reddit account that's been linked to Nova Online as well that has posted to the age regression subreddit. Here's a TikTok about it here, with some words that I am not going to read in the manner in which they are written, purely out of fear of the edits that might come out of it. My friends, by the way, but obviously because they're pals with me, my stuff comes up on their For You page whenever someone makes an edit of me, and it is fucking so surreal to them. Like, I'll get a call every now and then from like an old friend in school, and they're like, what the fuck? Jesse, why am I getting fan edits of you on my fucking TikTok? This is so weird. And you know what? I love that shit, so keep doing it. It's fucking hilarious. Because a lot of them don't even know I have a YouTube channel. That's like their first introduction to... Imagine that, by the way. Someone from school that you used to know, that you don't know they have a channel, you don't know they're like successful on YouTube or whatever, and your introduction to that world is a fan edit of them that you see on TikTok. It must be so weird, man. I'm in such a privileged position, truly. Thank you guys so much. I know that sounds sarcastic, but I fucking mean it. I know this is like a weird place to say that, but I mean it. I've actually found the OG post here on the Reddit, like on the actual Reddit. You're probably wondering why I sound so excited, but like this is like, because that TikTok's like going to a museum. This here is like going back in time and actually being able to witness the events as they take place. Like, yeah, you could go to the aeroplane museum, the aviation museum, and see what's up, the history of these incredible winged metal objects, or you could just go back in time and have a pint with the Wright brothers and have a chat with them, you know? Actually have some influence and be right there in front of them as they change the world. That's what being on the... on the age regression subreddit is like. I've been posting a lot on TikTok and my fans don't accept me for who I am. I've been getting doxxed recently and I'm very scared. I mean, you can make of that what you want. I will say, they don't deserve to get doxxed. Whoever's doxing them, you're a freak. You shouldn't even be doing that. I know you might think it's fucking cool to dox a Lolcow, but it's not. Like, these are real fucking people at the end of the day, and they don't deserve to be doxed. Even if Nova's an arsehole, you know, Nova has a mum, a dog, an uncle who presumably lives with them from all the context clues that I'm picking up on, and maybe more that I don't know about. How is everyone? It's a good morning, had some toast and butter, I pissed my diaper while sleeping. People seem to find that hilarious that he's done that. He's one of them people that just asks, how are you doing? Purely with the intention of you asking how are you doing back so that he could share this magnificent story. But usually when people do that, it's because they have something worth sharing, or they've done really well on the test and they're asking you, what did you get? Because they know you'll ask them what they got and then they can fucking brag about the 99% or something. Nova Nova's totally that guy. Except in this case, it's him being braggadocious about having pissed himself during the night. Brilliant content. Thank you, pal. I'm so glad I know that. Anyway, next in the Nova Online story is the hugely influential debate slash draw. I say debate like it's a fucking parliamentary procedure. No, he got into beef with another Lolcow, tik-tok. One that I don't know much about, but maybe there'll be a video on them at some point. Who knows? Depends how well this one does, I suppose. Here's a bunch of the call-out videos that they made exposing each other. Not like that. That would not be, I would not be playing that. I don't want to see that. Exposing each other, metaphorically slash socially. Definitely not physically. Definitely not. Hopefully. I've not seen this, to be fair. I hope it's not.
Guys, Sophia is racist towards Mexicans, and she says horrible stuff about Asians.
What was that fucking fart noise there? Was that actually a part of the video, or has that been edited in? Because I used to do that, to be fair. I had some clients get really, this was back when I edited for YouTubers. I had some people get really mad at me because I would like, as they were, if they did this or something and they sat down on their chair, I would edit in a fart noise, but I would muffle it. So it was like, it sounded real. It didn't sound like a sound effect. And they would get comments being like, you left in the fart noise, you fucking gross idiot. And then they would message me on Discord being like, do you fucking want this job? Do you want me to fart? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, I try, you know what? My tactic was like to gaslight them into thinking that they'd actually farted. I was like, yeah, I was debating whether or not keeping that in the video because it's embarrassing for you. But like, I thought the joke you were telling was so funny that I keep it in, you know, butter them up because I have just fucked them royally in the ass. I don't know, but some people got really angry about it, to be fair. There was one person in particular who was fucking livid. Some people took it well. It was just funny, man. It's just a joke at the end of the day. Like, calm the fuck down.
You are 19 following people 10 years younger than you were on TikTok.
So those first TikToks are the initial call-out videos that they made towards each other. Fucking scathing, I'm sure you'll agree. This is like some Kendrick Drake type bollocks.
And like I said, Nova, what do you want? Huggies or Pampers? You better answer quick.
What is this beef? I'm so glad that I wasn't making commentary videos at the time that this went down, because it's like, is this what my fucking channel would have been? This is what people, like, what is there even to talk about here? It's just two people who very clearly have a lot of issues. Is this their idea of, like, scathing sort of fucking insults and cusses towards each other? Fucking hell, that actually scared me. That genuinely made me jump. I felt like I was physically actually being spat at there. It was very disturbing.
That is shit.
Fuck, man, what is this video, man? 5 seconds into a minute-long video, and I'm so he's done a good job, to be fair, because I'm fucking intrigued. That is shit!
Welcome to a brand new episode of Fat BITCH disease, aka type 3 diabetes. Alright, so we're gonna start off this mocktail with a little bit of disrespect towards Mama Chew and Brother Chew, a hint of racism and then saying it's not racist, a touch of framing shit on MG and I to cover up what she did, and a touch of this up here.
This is a very strange beef between these two individuals here. And they're sneak dissing as well, you know? They're not catch and flight and being direct. They're not saying it with their chest. They're sneak dissing each other. Like, fucking just say it, man. I know this is like on the verge of being direct here and just saying to Fiachu, you're a fucking arsehole and I hate you. It's also very ironic to criticize somebody for watching Asian teen pornography when you yourself have literally been caught DMing minors sexually on the Discord that you are a moderator of. Can't put this in the video because it's copyrighted, but I guess they're singing with each other now, so the beef is over. The good ending happened, I guess. This is like fucking Steven Universe or Naruto. So one of them used talk ninjutsu, and now they're best pals. I don't understand. Do they hate each other? Do they love each other? Are they beefing? Are they fucking? Who knows, man? Who even wants to know?
Sophia rizzes up Nova.
What?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Nova kinda has nice hair, kind of, but I don't know, some instances his hair kinda looks greasy.
This is like some tsundere bollocks. I don't even like anime, but I know what tsundere is. I know you all know what that is, by the way, so I don't need to compare it to anything else. I don't understand the dynamic of the situation, what the relationship is like between the two lead characters. This is very confusing script writing, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I'm actually reading a fucking James Joyce book here now. Oh god. No. I'm not watching this. We're not watching that. I'm not putting anyone through that. Let's just move on to a bit more of a modern phenomenon, the scary situation. Due to a scary situation that happened in my life, I'm taking a break from TikTok. This right here is like giving me flashbacks to the Smart Schoolboy 9 craze a while back. Like the format, I know it's dead simple, but the format and the weird highlight there that is like a little performative and the font as well, it's very Smart Schoolboy 9. Why is this fucking puzzle so difficult? Drag the slider to fit the there should be... Okay, I've got it. Boom. Wonderful. Now what is this scary situation? Let's have a wee peek, shall we? Nova got swatted. Well, to be fair, that is unironically a very scary situation. I'm not even taking the piss here. That is both a situation and scary. They told no lies. What happened with the swatting stuff? It's complicated. What does complicated mean? What happened? So someone said I was holding a nephew hostage. Then what happened? They put me in handcuffs and the cruiser and everything. Then they searched the whole house, and after that they found out it was a SWAT attempt. They decided to question me on who might have done this. There were 10 cops, plus 2 at each end of the road. I came out on my own accord. They asked what I was doing during my day, and they wanted to check all my call logs as well. That's about all I can remember. Definitely traumatizing. Yeah, I don't fucking doubt it. I feel quite bad for them here, like, unironically. As much as they've done horrible things on the internet, they don't fucking deserve this, and nor does their family either, by the way. This is what I mean, like, these weird fucking internet sleuth weirdo fucks who think that they're cool guys doing this shit. It's like, nah, you're a fucking loser, mate. Get a life. Mate, the lad had rifles on him. He's a fucking kid. They were hella chill for a swatting. Well, that's good news at least. And not to mention the handcuffs left marks on me. They put them on a little too tight. That doesn't, like, bring back memories from when you were tempted by squeezing your wrists? No, it didn't, because it wasn't in the exact spot it happened. Attempted by squeezing your wrists. I know in Japan there's, like, an idea of attempting by biting your tongue, because, like, you bleed out if you bite it in a certain place, but attempting by squeezing your... Surely that's not a thing, right? I mean, if the intention was there, then obviously that's fucking awful if they genuinely thought that squeezing their wrist would end their life and they were doing it with that sort of intention, then that is awful, and, you know, obviously that's something that shouldn't be joked about, but were they... It just makes no sense. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, I've never heard of anything like that in my... Do they think if they squeeze the wrist, like, what, their hand will just fucking explode or something? Or, like, would it cut the circulation off and they just bleed out and die immediately? I don't understand.
Hell, after 5 fucking months of being unemployed, your boy got a new job. Fucking finally, the job search arc is over.
That's good news. I mean, I genuinely mean that. At least they have a job now. That's a good thing, right? For anyone who's struggling, having a job, having that sort of structure in your life, like, and having to show up and take care of yourself, because a lot of retail jobs, for example, if you show up looking like that, they won't accept it. Like, it's not allowed. Obviously, if it's like a mom and pop sort of corner shop where they don't give a shit, then whatever, I'm sure they won't, you know, chastise you for it. But if it's like a Tesco or a Sainsbury's, I think they would be like, mate, can you just get a grip? And that is genuinely a good thing for people who are struggling to grow up. Whether that be because of their own personal issues or because they're fucking lazy. Either way, having a job helps with that. So that's a good thing. What isn't as much of a good thing, or well, actually, I lie. It is a good thing for us, but obviously in Nova's mind, this is the end of the fucking world. The Discord server, very recently, I think less than a week ago by the time of recording this, got shut down.
Ladies and gents, tomorrow, another big announcement about NovaCord is coming soon, and the relaunch of the Discord server is coming soon. And this time, it's 18+. So I know nothing's bad's gonna happen.
This is like watching people announce their plans, and then you look at the date of the video, and it's like January 2020. And it's this incredible dramatic irony where you, as the watcher/viewer, know, oh, this is not gonna go the way that you want it to, pal. I'm so sorry. My heart yearns for your plans, and I really hope that they go through. But looking at the date, January 2020, I just know whatever you had planned got very tragically disbarred. Except in this case, it's actually a good thing that the Discord got nuked, but they seem very happy about the Discord at this current moment in time. Because obviously, for us, watching this, it is probably the best thing that could have happened for the Discord to be shut down, because it gives Nova at least one less outlet, and what seems like the most popular outlet, for them to be a freak, a weirdo, you know, a creep, someone who doesn't belong here, shall we say. What the hell are they even doing here? And if she were to, you know, run out the door, then she run. But as much as we know it's a good thing, obviously to Nova, this is like his whole world crumbling in front of... This is like if Da Vinci were painting something and someone just came along and destroyed the painting. Like in the middle of him painting the Mona Lisa, somebody burnt the piece of paper that he was painting it on. This is their whole world going down. This is Usain Bolt tripping up 50 meters into his 100-meter dash. This is Muhammad Ali getting knocked out for the first time in his... You get the fucking idea, right? This is very bad in his mind, but it is a good thing for everyone else. Not that, you know, those sporting events, hypothetical sporting events are... You get the fucking idea, man. Let's just move on. So yeah, Nova in this video is just being spammed with comments. Why is your server 18 plus, but you give moderator to a 15-year-old? It's a very good question. It's a very interesting fucking quandary there, both morally and ethically. Those are the same thing. But either way, it's an excellent question. So let's see what Nova says. I'm sure, you know, knowing them, they'll give a very educated and formulated response to the whole thing.
Start the weave. That's it.
They just end the live, I guess. Okay, they don't want to deal with the heat. I guess they just don't have an answer for it. They want to attend to the fucking dog who sat next to them licking his fucking bollocks off. It's sad that that dog licking his bollocks off is the most wholesome thing that we have seen in this video. Anyway, here's the infamous video of Nova finally finding out that his Discord was, despite his best attempts, shut down once again.
I'm gonna give my helper a call real quick. What the fuck? Oh no.
This video is fucking... I feel like this... We're only a minute in, but like the subtle change in facial expressions here, the utter distress, peril, despair that you can see in his eyes with just the tiniest flicker of movement. I feel as though videos like this should be shown in acting classes across the fucking globe, man. I'm telling you. You're watching a man's whole world crumble before his eyes.
Oh no, not the server! The server got nuked!
No! Oh no, Nova! Not the anything but the server! Where am I gonna flirt with minors now? The only other place I could think of that flirting with minors would even be a possibility is the actual fucking coal mines, and then I don't think I have the disposition to work at those places. They're quite labor heavy. This is an awful joke. Sorry.
The server!
Nova, looking at the server like a fucking dummy isn't gonna make it come back. Like, just looking at it with a fucking gaped open mouth will not make it magically return. You have to deal with it, pal. I'm sorry. It's a very sad moment, but trust me, in the long run, this will actually be a good thing for both you and everybody else.
No! Fuck! And there goes the server. Seriously? Not even 5 days. Server's already gone. I'm out of here.
I'm honestly not even too sure what to say about that, man. Like, this is the most recent and biggest development in the Nova Online story, is this new server getting nuked and the absolute heartbreak that comes alongside it. But I think I've already said everything that I really want to say about this situation. It's ultimately a good thing, but they're obviously just not in the right headspace to realize that. I mean, it's fucking pretty obvious that they're not happy about this from that. Genuinely, how angry they are. I've not seen someone that angry in a while. I've been around a lot of happy people recently. Yay. Recap of the past 12 hours. Nova has asked for $900 on his Discord server to pay for his house's rent. His mom asked for money because his social security check hasn't come in on time to pay the rent. We believe he has lost his job a few days ago as he made a post referring to him being back at stage 1. Okay, so he's immediately lost his job after just getting it for whatever reason. Who fucking knows? He's asking for donations as well, which is classic for a lot of lolcows, and like, you know, a lot of the lolcows, and well, we haven't really covered many lolcows on this channel, but like most people on this channel that we have covered who do ask for donations, if you are someone who genuinely donates to these people, then you're either a fool or a malicious, horrible person who wants to see their life go to shit because you know your donation is going to be used on things that are not good. Like, there's no way that money is being spent strictly on rent. So when someone shows you that they are very willing and wanting to message minors sexually, don't give them fucking money. Nova got into a car wreck. Apparently someone made a wrong turn. There were minors in the Discord. So this is what the server got changed into right before it got taken down by whoever hacked it, which I know I've been saying, if you get a little too handsy or like find out the address or dox these people or swat these people, then you're a fucking weirdo. But to the person who hacked the Discord account and took it down, big ups to you, because that is a genuinely, like, actually good thing. Based on, you know, the way that you've retitled everything, it's probably not for the greatest reason that you've done it, but you've done the right thing, even if it is for the wrong reason. The wrong reason, obviously, being either attention or, oh, this is going to be so funny. But yeah, like I said, the reason don't really matter. As long as the Discord's gone, that's a good thing. Tell you what else is a good thing. This.
I'm never being on another fucking Discord server again. This is the motherfucking fourth... Fuck my life. Everything. I'm fucking done.
What an eloquent and apt, incredible way to end the story. It's a happy ending, a happy book ending in my opinion. Beautiful. I couldn't think of a better way to end this video. So there you have it. That is the story of Nova Online from the start of their career to today. I know we skimmed over some things a little more than others. I could not be bothered to go into the depths, the crevices of the Tafiachu drama, for example. But to be honest with you, if you leave this video disappointed by the amount of Tafiachu drama that we covered, then I would strongly recommend that you try and reorganize your priorities in life. Now, a lot of you probably remember that I edged you at the start of this video with the comments that I wanted to bring up for now, so we'll do that now before we end the video officially. Now, I never bring up comments at the end of videos usually, because like I said, I really like that sort of old style of YouTube where people brought up comments that they read at the beginning of their videos, and I miss that. I miss that vibe, and I wanted to bring it into this channel. It's something a little bit different, because, you know, I'm a fucking commentary channel at the end of the day. I'm not reinventing the wheel by any means, but a little bit of sort of a, I guess, community, what's the word, appreciation, for lack of a better word, I think wouldn't go amiss. But in this case, I can't say I really appreciate these comments. I mean, they are funny, but they're very confusing. So this was on my most recent Ashley Trevino video, where in the intro I talk about how people were referring to my girl as our girlfriend, and in the video I said like, oh, don't do that, you shouldn't be saying that. Played you all like fucking fools, because comment engagement was sky high for that video. I understand, I'm not like Nova Online over here. I understand that if you ask the internet not to do something, they will fucking do it a million times more than what they were doing originally. But either way, this person they did not like that intro, as can be seen by these comments here. Okay, all the shit you're saying in this video, but you're actually trying to get people to fawn over your girlfriend. You actually need a different career. Fucking weirdo. I am not trying to get people to fawn over my girl. I want if anything, I am annoyed by how much you guys like her, because I am the attraction here. I am supposed to be. This is my channel, right? Not hers. It's mine. She wanted to be here when I read these comments out, but she weren't about, unfortunately. But either way, it's my bastard channel. The fact that you guys like her more than me is actually a detriment. So I don't know what this comment is on about. Your girlfriend actually literally looks like the person that's sitting there eating dinner with that bitch. I'm tired of the world being... I'm not going to say that word. See, this is where it gets confusing, because first of all, actually literally is redundant there. You don't need actually and literally next to each other. Just say actually or literally. But secondly, I don't know what they're talking about, because I don't think, I don't think, it's not like I don't think it, I haven't shown my girl on camera on this channel. Like, you guys don't know what she looks like if I've done my job correctly. Does this person think that Ash Trevino is my girlfriend, or what, Brianna Olsen, or someone that I've shown in that video? The fucking dog that was eating cheese at the start of the video, maybe? Do they think I'm the girlfriend? I've got, my hair's long, but I've not really got the most feminine features. Got long eyelashes, I guess, but that shouldn't really be enough for people to think that I'm a lassie. These long eyelashes are purely to keep the sand out of our eyes. They're a genetic adaptation for the Egyptian boys. Hey, you are just as fucking weird as anybody else, because you're watching the shit and want to say all you guys are a bunch of cell virgins. Not incel virgins, just cell virgins, like, you know, red blood cells, white blood cells, a little bit of fucking mitochondria in there. Also, factually incorrect, like I said at the beginning of this video, I went and seen Tyler recently, and a lot of the people that came up to me and liked the content were married and or had children. So they're not virgins. It's literally impossible. I mean, I'm sure some of them are, but like, it's not a problem really. I think it would be equally weird if everybody watching this video had shagged someone before. Go fuck yourself. You can tell your girlfriend that filters don't help much. You haven't even seen my girl though. You haven't seen her. Like, once. With or without filters. She might have come up in the background of a video when I put like a bunch of pixels over her so you cannot see her face. That's not really a filter, pal. Also, she never uses filters. Just a personal thing there. So even if they actually have seen a photo of her, there were no filters. She said I had to bring that up, by the way. So there you have it. I hope you're happy, pal. Some people are gonna think it's weird that I call my girl pal. It's because I don't want to say her actual name. I don't call her that in real life, by the way. Someone quoted me at the 34-minute mark. You're a creep, you're a freak, you're a nerd, you're a geek. They thought that was cool. I thought that was bars. But no, but this commenter here, Amanda, they don't like positive moments, right? They just had to fucking intervene with, oh wow, it took you 33 minutes into this video to say that he's a creep. I'm glad he's proud of his girlfriend, but he's literally talking about some bitch on here being fat and then wants to show some filtered ass shit picture of his girlfriend. I think Amanda is just very confused. Maybe they're not malicious, but maybe they're just horribly confused, because I didn't show any filtered ass picture or any picture of my girl. I've never done that. Ever! And especially not in the Ashley Trevino video. Why would I just go, Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're doing a video on Ashley Trevino. By the way, here's a picture of my girlfriend. It's fucking weird! You know what I also love? I love that YouTube has flagged all these comments as potentially inappropriate. Just potentially. But yeah, that's the funniest thing. Like, this guy's going off in this comment section, like, fucking going mental, commenting on everyone. No one has even seen this individual's comments because YouTube flagged them and put them in comment purgatory. Yeah, there's one more, by the way. I've subscribed only for our girlfriend, and they're a public subscriber, so big up Willow Burkham 1027. Amanda doesn't like you based on the comment we're about to read, but I certainly do. I appreciate you being here, pal. You know, porn is free. You don't have to jack off this guy's girlfriend. Not to my girlfriend. You don't need to jack off my girl. I'll be honest, they're right there. You don't need to do that. I'd greatly prefer if you didn't do that, actually, personally. But I don't really think I need to worry about that, to be honest, for a multitude of reasons. And he doesn't need to post her online, I agree. That's why I haven't. Give views, but have fun with yourself. Jacking off your dick to somebody that's never going to talk to you. There's just so much wrong with this fucking comment. What if they don't have a dick? That's the main thing. You've cut off like half of the population and over half of my audience. Give views, but have fun with yourself. You know what? I can get behind that message. Give me views and have fun. You know what? That's a happy ending once again. So we'll stop there and end the video because it's a quaint place to do so in my opinion. So hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video as usual, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.